We starting this thing now, guys. Let's go! Oh, and there's oil everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, before this video starts, I just want to say, my name is Julian Dinino, and this is my channel. I got an S54 swapped E30, and we got a really cool build coming to the channel in the future. A couple of you guys know about it, but not that many people know about it. Maybe if you would follow me on Instagram, you would know about it. Follow my Instagram, and follow Brandon's Instagram, and follow Jude's Instagram, even though he's not here, because like he's being a little bitch today. I just want to say before this video starts, if you guys have any suggestions for me, or for Brandon, or for Jude, or for like the channel, any channel ideas, anything like that, drop them down below in the comments, because I want to make the videos as best as possible. That's what I'm asking you, because a goal is to be undeniable. You know, have such good content where nobody can argue against me. And the only way I'm gonna get there is through criticism. Like, be honest, if you guys don't like something that I'm doing right now, if you guys don't like something in the videos, say something. I want to hear it. Or if you guys like something that I'm doing and wanna see more of it, say something. I want to hear your guys' criticism. That being said, we're gonna get into the video. Welcome back to another video. Today, it's gonna be a good video. I have the DME and the fuel pressure regulator. Now, E46 M3 has a returnless fuel rail design. You need a fuel pressure regulator that has in fuel pressure, then a return, and then the regulator, and then this is what puts out the proper. I think it's 74 PSI of rail pressure because it's 5 bar, 5 times 14.7, something like 74. Yeah, close enough. We have everything in. Now, before we get to it, I just want to give a real quick shout out to my boy Nate at Nate's BMW Nate's BMW ECU repair shop. You can ship him your DME and tell him what you need. I will put the link in the description. He does incredible work. EWS tuned out. I got the top speed limiter tuned out. I got the secondary O2s tuned out. And I had the Alpha N tune installed on the DME. So what that means, we're gonna be running without any MAF sensor. It's gonna be working off of the O2s and the throttle positioning sensor. Now Brandon's behind the camera. He's gonna be filming today, putting that dirty work in, you know, that Steely Dan. I'm a fool to do your dirty work. You know that song?
I do know that song.
Yeah. I want to talk about the DME real quick and what's going on with the trumpets. I posted a couple videos on TikTok explaining the Alpha N tune and how everything works, and all the TikTok mechanics on there knew way more than me, even though they're like 12 years old. I want to explain to you guys what the Alpha N tune does. So, stock S54 has an airbox that looks like this. This is an intake plenum. This is not an intake manifold, because a manifold either holds pressure or holds vacuum. This is open to the atmosphere pretty much, because ITBs, your vacuum is behind your throttle blades, and then in front of here is atmosphere pressure. Around here, normally sit here, there's an intake elbow, then a MAF airflow sensor. How MAF airflow sensors work, they're metered to a certain air temperature. The probe in there is set to like a certain temperature. So like, I don't know exactly what temperature it's set to. I'm just gonna say it's set to 100 degrees. So that little probe is set to 100 degrees. Then there's an intake air temperature sensor in the car. And it tells the DME, hey, the air that's running past the MAF sensor right now is 60 degrees. It cools down that probe, and then it measures the resistance from how much it's cooling, because the air temperature, how big the chamber is. Then the DME calculates the resistance, and it's like, all right, this is how much air is going into the engine. I am not running an airbox in my car, so we do not have a MAF sensor. There's no way to meter the air going into the engine. What that leads me on to is something called an Alpha N tune. Now, what an Alpha N tune does, it works off of the throttle positioning sensor right there. The throttle positioning sensor, basically, as soon as you open it up, let's say you open the throttles to 50 degrees. It has presets in the DME. It says, okay, the throttles are opened at 50 degrees. This is how much air is going into the engine. Then it's also gonna read your intake air temperature sensor. So at 50 degrees throttle angle and at this intake air temperature, this is how much air is going into the engine. It also reads off of the O2s, and S54s have an exhaust gas temperature sensor, so it also reads off of that. This DME has an Alpha N tune installed. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna pull all the trumpets off. We're gonna pull the wiring harness out of the car. We're gonna clean it up. I'm gonna add a couple connectors in that we're gonna need for the Alpha N tune. Let's get to it. Dude, how fast can I get this harness off? See how fast I can get the harness off. So what time are we at right now?
2:08.
All right, 2:08. Let's go, time me, baby. insane, dude. What's my time?
13:56.
13 minutes and 56 seconds.
So you're about almost 12 minutes out of.
So full harness, engine harness, jumper harness, O2 harness, DME, like all that out of the car in less than 12 minutes. That's how you do it, kids. Oh man,
we get shit done around here.
Yeah, we get shit done around here. I got that dog in me. First thing comes to first, getting into the wiring, we have to extend the ground. Now, this is the swap harness that I have. Wouldn't like to not mess with it just because it's so nice, but I do have to extend the ground, but because all of these wires do the same thing, it doesn't really matter which ones we put them to. All right guys, so me and Brandon just took a little Chipotle break. Have the ground wire extended, so this is extended up and it's gonna reach the firewall where we need it. We are going to be wiring in the connector for the intake air temperature sensor. Now, this is just any 2-pin BMW connector you guys can use, so I have this sitting here. We have the connector for the MAF. The MAF in the E46 M3 reads the MAF and the intake air temperature sensor. The ones that you're gonna need to cut are 1 and 3. You're just gonna need to cut those out and then wire it into any 2-pin BMW connector. Pin 1 goes to 1, then 3 goes to 2. Pro tip, before you go to solder anything, make sure to put your heat shrink on so you don't, hate yourself. Just like that, perfectly soldered joint. All right, is that thing rolling?
It's rolling.
Bet. I have the intake air temperature sensor on it. This has to be hella long to reach around to where it needs to be. Also went over the O2 harness and I kind of like wire wrapped it up so it's not like wires going everywhere like crazy. Now, before we put all the harness stuff, I want to get the fuel pressure regulator in and proper. Let me show you what I'm doing for that. All right guys, so this is our fuel pressure regulator housing, and then this is our 5-bar S54 fuel pressure regulator. This is brand new. I just didn't want to put an old one in it in case it was old and not like working pressure properly, and then you can get into some bad stuff. Fuel pressure regulator actually threads onto a thing like in the E46 M3. I think it's a fuel filter this threads onto, but we don't have that. Our fuel filter's in the back and we just have pressure and then a return fuel line. Now, what I'm gonna do to fix that is I have a fuel fitting barb that I actually just cut off of a fuel rail that I don't need anymore. And because these are both stainless steel, I'm just gonna weld onto that and then we're gonna be ready to go. There, we got a barb welded on, looks pretty good. That's how you do it, dude. That's how you make use of your resources. I just want to say, I think we're like 90 something subscribers away from 1,000. As we say, if you guys are new here, I know my OG subscribers will know what I'm talking about, but as we say, if you aren't subscribed and you're watching the videos, your mother won't love you. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Because we're putting in the work. We're putting in the work, guys. We're getting the video out at least once a week, most of the time twice a week. I just said, like if you're watching this, you should be subscribed and like the video, guys, because we're putting in a lot of work for you.
That's what he does every time someone likes or subscribes.
Yeah, I dance. I get a notification on my phone, somebody subscribes, I'm like, All right, guys, so this is what we're dealing with for the fuel pressure regulator. Regulator. I gotta learn how to talk. I'm still working on that. We'll actually go down to there and it's gonna slide down on those two fuel lines there, just like that. There, so it's on. I'm gonna have to make a little bracket to mount that. We have our S54 quick disconnect fuel line. I don't know if I'm gonna use this fuel line just because this thing's pretty long and I'm gonna need a shorter fuel line, but for now, this is gonna be able to work. This will plug in just like that. This is gonna go down there and then plug in just like that, and there. Now we have the fuel pressure regulator hooked up. I just have to put hose clamps down on the bottom too. All right, so fuel pressure regulator is hooked up. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the wiring harness. Sorry, I drew a blank. I'm gonna throw the engine wiring harness on. I'm gonna throw the jumper harness on, then we're gonna throw the O2 harness on, then plug the DME in, then we should be able to have a first start. We're gonna cut to a cinematic scene of me throwing the wiring harness in that Brandon's gonna film, and it's gonna be fire in 3, 2, 1.
3, funk it.
The harness is completely installed. Now we are ready to throw the DME in. Then once the DME is in, we're gonna be ready to start it and see how she runs. We starting this thing now, guys. Getting excited. It's flowing through my veins, you know? I guess there's only one thing to do. She runs, guys. She fucking runs. There is a weird sound going on in it, and I know what it is. Unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to deal with it until the sound goes away. I know like because this is an E34 oil pan, the oil pan scraper doesn't sit with the crank properly, or it doesn't sit with the rod bolts properly, and the rod bolts hit the oil pan crank, but I did have it sanded down and I did have it clearance down. But I guess once I actually torqued up the oil pan, it sunk in just enough to where one of those rod bolts is hitting. It's like this small little like tin baffle in there. So it sounds like something's going on with it, but nothing major, and that's like what it is. It's not a big deal. The sound's gonna go away. Oh, and there's oil everywhere. I don't know, dude. I got these oil lines apart because these oil lines aren't fucking sealing, and every time I go to start this thing up, it's pissing oil out everywhere because this $600 oil cooler and these $200 oil lines, they don't seal. They don't want to seal, and they don't work together. It's, anyways, I was just in the middle of this. There's oil all over the ground, and the power just shut off. Let's go, Duquesne Light. Woo! I can't even show them what's going on because we're in pitch black darkness. Let's take a trip outside and see if our neighbors have power. Ladies and gentlemen, it is,
windy as a mug.
Well, it's windy, but it's actually not that bad. Our infrastructure here, you can literally fart hard enough and your power will go out. Look at that deer. Whoa, 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 what's going on?
You didn't let me get him first.
Look at that deer now, man. Look at that deer. Zoom in. Yo, guys, welcome to MTV Crib. This is my crib. I'm Amish. I don't have power. I don't believe in electricity. So if we come down, it's pitch black. I can fire up the candles for you guys. Yeah, this is. Do I look?
Oh!
Oh! Oh! Come on, you can't be fucking with me like that, dude.
With that.
Do I look like I'm about to tell a spooky story?
Don't say nothing. Oh.
Fuck! Dude, they're teasing us. They're teasing us right now.
You look like a goofball. Joe.
Do I look better now?
I can see you now. Yeah.
All right. I don't know. You guys, this might be the end of the video. I'm going to pick back up where we left off, trying to fix the oil lines and trying to do some more stuff. But unfortunately, Mother Nature has other plans for us. I'll see you guys next in like 4 seconds. Or 4 seconds, like a second. We'll see ya. It is 2 o'clock in the morning right now. I finally have power. I actually went to the gym, worked out, and then I edited most of this video at the gym just because I didn't have power. I wanted to close out the video. You guys can see some smoke. It's smoky in here. It's because I just had this thing running. That clicking noise, that it almost sounded like rod knock, and I told you guys it was the bolt hitting on my oil pan, and it was barely kissing it. Like, I know a lot of you guys are gonna cringe at me saying this, but like, the bolt was kissing the oil pan baffle, but it's super, super thin and it was kissing it on the edge. So it has like this big piece of metal for it to hit and resonate again. So it was literally just a couple thousandths of an inch. I let the engine sit and run for like 15 seconds and then the noise went away. So I'll fire it up for you guys. Hopefully the cops don't get called because it is 2:30 or like 2:30 in the morning. So we'll start it up. Sounds perfectly quiet now. It is open header, so it's very loud, but she's running good now. All right, oh, by the way, I did fix the leak out of the oil cooler, so that is fixed. It sounds super healthy. It just sits there and idles nicely. Like I said, that sound is gone. This thing looks so incredibly good. I can't wait to get this thing on the road. So video plan, next video, we are going to do the cooling system just so we can have everything running for long. That being said, guys, I'm super happy at today's results. We got the thing running. It sounds good. Before I close it out, guys, I just want to say if you guys are at the end, comment S54 is king. I'm just so happy. And if you guys are at the end, I thank you so much. I thank you guys so much for staying to the end of the video and watching. You guys are my true OGs. I'm gonna close it out here, guys. Dream so big it's scary. Peace out, and I'll catch you in the next one. Boom.